with another tool for your toolkits. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's video is going to dive deeply into the sacred meanings and power available to each of you for this new moon in Taurus that we'll have on April 27th. So if you will, as you join me, please light up the chat with roses, with the new moon, and there will be a piece in here for the fairies. Y'all already know I gotta take care of my fairies. Wagwan. Shouts out to all my light beams. Y'all can give me my hearts because y'all know I love the love. And yes, light me up. Roses, new moons, fairies, hearts. Y'all got it. We're gonna have a good time this afternoon. It is I think I'm starting to find that I like to talk to you all when you're supposed to be logging off and getting out of your 9 to 5 to remind you that as you're leaving, leave with purpose. Leave with that badass attitude that you've gotten things done, and that when you're leaving there, you're on your way home to reinforce your sovereignty. This has been the theme, I think. I mean, it's just day 2 of this, but I'm noticing a pattern. If you notice the pattern too, press 1 in the chat and make sure to thumbs up the video. All right, y'all. Let's get some more likes for this video. Y'all know that there's been a lot of rich information shared with you all. It's not going to be the last time. It's certainly not the first time. That's what we do over in the Slytherin Discord. We make sure to drop a lot of secrets. As for the House of She Patreon, there's lots of sauce in there as well. Don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get all the bang for your buck and more. For those of you who are part of the community, thank you. You can let them know that it's definitely worth it. And you know, if you're not ready to be at the Chi Hive level, you know, there's plenty to receive in the Discord. There's plenty to receive at the first tier. Okay? And I believe I even have a few meditations available just for becoming a member, a free member of the House of She Patreon. Alright? Before I get started into the meat of the video, because I know some of you need some time to receive your notifications, can I share with you this look and how, you know, this look? Do y'all like the look? It's giving me a lot of gypsy vibes. What y'all think? Is it giving you gypsy? Y'all want to know about this? So, the look. For those of you who've been rocking with me for over, I don't know, how long have we been together? At least maybe 8 years, 7 years maybe? I don't remember. I think it's 7 years. Yo, 7 years. And you know, I'm going to talk to you all about 7. So, alignment, divine alignment there. Y'all know I changed my look. I go through various transformations. I have deaths and rebirths on a regular basis. Whether you know it directly or not, if you're keeping your eyes open, you see Mother has changed. Mother has changed. Let's see. So the look started off as my normal little cat eye, but this morning, and this is not the first time, but this morning, there's this particular bird that has a song that wakes me up out of my really deep sleep, but in a beautiful way. And the first time I heard it was over this last Easter weekend. I went to one of my hideaway spots where I go to just regenerate and really spend time with myself in a beautiful location. It's one of my forest spots. Okay. Shouts out to my family for providing me, like, look, maybe if you're lucky, a small like handful of you women, I will bring you to this spot. Okay. um but anyways, while I was there one morning, I heard this bird singing the wedding march, and I was like, hold up, like, you're sleeping and you wake up to a particular sound, and I was like, is there a bird really singing a song that I know in real life? And I was like, that's beautiful. So my uncle, being a real nature's man, I said to him, I said, I heard this bird. I was wondering if there's a bird that actually sings a song, the wedding song, right? And he's like, yeah. And I have this really cool app that I can identify all of the birds. So, you have a lot of land, you have a lot of birds that are in the vicinity. So I was like, all right, really intrigued. He showed me the app, and I'm not getting any sponsorship from the app yet, but everybody should get this app. It's the Merlin app. Merlin app, Merlin. I swear, for all of you who love being in nature, and for those of you who connect with birds as a spirit animal, it's the best app ever, because it's so easy to identify. It's been accurate for me so far, right? So check this out. We did a little search, because at the time I didn't have a recording of it. But when I found the bird and he played its song on the app, I was like, that was the bird, right? I bet. And for his vicinity. Now, when I came back home, I didn't hear the same wedding march, but I heard, it's like when you're listening to someone's voice that has a particular effect on you. Like, there's a medicine in their voice. The sound of birds can do the same thing. Absolutely. Right. Every sound has a particular resonance. And so I woke up to the sound of this bird because it was so sweet. It was just so sweet to me. And I was like, dang, what bird is that now? These birds are really talking to me right now. And I couldn't remember the name of the app. And so by the time I remembered the name of the app, I went to record, and it was catching all these other birds, but it was not my bird, right? So this morning, I was like, it's fine. Now I have the app on my phone. Download the app, right? Now I have the app on my phone. When I heard it this morning, it's so sweet and medicinal. Like, it's like honey on my heart, right? Is as soon as I heard it, the way it wakes me up, I feel energized. I felt energized. I felt good. Like, it was not time for me to get up, and this bird was singing before the sun was up. I could still see the moon glowing in the dark sky. But I got up, put the app to the window, and saw my bird pop up on one of the bird songs that was picked up. And I was like, okay, that's interesting, because it wasn't the wedding march. But then when I pressed it, I was like, that's my bird. Fast forward, okay, I'm going to go do my cat eye. I realized, like, I just felt a lot of my makeup inspirations are more ancestral, okay? They are legitimately ancestral. I won't get into all of my background right now, right? But everything. It's not really it's not like a cosplay or like for likes or whatever. I'm saying sometimes it looks kind of strange, especially when I feel I have to wear my ancestral makeup in places where ain't nobody else gonna be looking like that. It's just me though. Okay? Anywho. So I started to really line my eyes. And I've never worn my eyes like this before. But I realized that I was connecting more with this bird. So the name of the bird, I will share with you all, is the white-throated sparrow. So just as a tip for you, I can't help but start just sharing with you all just some of the process of being a real divine feminine woman in your power and tapping into your magic intuitively. Okay, so I'm going to share, and these are the ways of indigenous women and how these rituals have come to being. And all of this is important to share with you because it leads into, you know, what everybody else is doing, but you're able to incorporate things that are more personal to you into your magic, so you're more divinely connected with that. Press one if that makes sense. It's like there's a deep peace in practicing rituals and magic that not only are part of your scholarly occultist repertoire, right, and learning how to apply rituals and magic that have been over time proven to bring particular results, right? But the piece is adding those moments of intuitive guidance that help to strengthen your confidence. Okay, your confidence in your magic. Because as a sorcerer, you can do every single thing that you've been taught by the book, line for line. But if your confidence, that deep inner confidence and your will is out of alignment, you won't get the same results. Okay, and let alone you'll be waiting and waiting for results, and the little confidence that you do have is going to start to diminish. All right, so I think enough of you are here, but really quickly, pardon me, as I move into the new moon in Taurus, it's a white-throated sparrow, and a lot of the energy is around the purity of sound, right? And you can go and look it up because you have the name. Go look it up. Doesn't matter. You can Google that if you want to, right? But the white throat. And so as an indigenous woman of this earth, I own the planet, it's good to mimic aspects of the animal that you're connecting with for deeper downloads. So in this instance, one of the things I would do is I would coat my throat with Efun or white paint that I have empowered with incantations or other sound frequencies. And I would paint my throat, and I would listen to just the sound of that particular bird in meditation and allow what is being activated within me in this connection with that particular bird to come forward. Okay, you can't, the thing about connecting with animal spirits is that you can't force the information because they're speaking in tone, which is why it's so magical, and the transmission can happen very quickly. Okay, because you have to really settle into your receptive nature, which is very feminine, and you can be a man and tap into that. That is part of it. Okay, the balance between the masculine and feminine energy in that regards is that it's the feminine aspect of your energetic body that you're receiving the transmission. It is your masculine energetic body that can organize it and put it into action. All right, boom. There's your first lesson. That was just off the dome, real time for everybody who got here early. Okay. All right. So we have a new moon in Taurus on April 27th. All right? April 27th, we have a 9 energy, divine feminine energy. All right, is that a, I didn't even look. Is that a Friday or is it Sunday? Somebody let me know. Right. So we have the sun and the moon together in a Venus ruled constellation. All right, the zodiac of Taurus. In the frequency of 7. All right. Okay, Sunday. Okay, cool. in the frequency of 7, which is a God number, which is the 7th Sephirah, Nizach, which represents victory through endurance, through love, through magnetism. It asks you to really tap into your creative power. When I say God frequency, to me, divine 7, right? We look at the 7 gates that Inanna had to go through, right? 7, 7 represents a particular cycle, and I will speak to the nature of the 7 relationship to Venus, where it could make sense, because it's not immediately, it's not linear, so to say. It actually does go in an orbit for me to give you that information. But when you're in a God frequency, okay, that means you are being called to create. And it's wonderful to be in a new moon energy where you're being called to create under God frequency, because that's what we are. We are creators. And when we are creating, you are practicing that God frequency, that God particle of yourself. Ashe? Now, the energy of Taurus is that it is slow moving, but it's not slow moving like a donkey dragging its ass. It is slow moving in a sensual nature, taking its time to really be present with all things beautiful, tasty, delightful, exciting to the senses. And so there's a graceful strength and a very focused alignment of this energy. Yes, Taurus is the bull. Okay? It means that this energy that you're tapping into as a creator is more picky, it's more selective. It's going to take its time to select what is valuable and what is going to be a part of the new thing that you are creating. So although you're creating something new, there are absolutely things in your life that go forward with you into the new. Okay? This particular new moon is not the kind of energy where it's like cut everything, start from scratch, death, rebirth. That energy kind of already started, right? And then look at the fragments or the phases of time that we're moving in. The weekend before this new moon marked that death and rebirth. It's now, there's the rebirth on that Sunday, but 7 days through there, right? We're moving into now, what do we bring forward with us? That death really revealed to you what is not you, what is not a source of your power. Okay, does that make sense? So when you're preparing to do, for those of you who did catch the 7 devotional day ritual, when you're preparing to do that ritual, you can see how the two align with each other. All right. For those of you who didn't catch it and you're not a member of the House of She Patreon, this ritual that I'm going to share, okay, for those of you who are on the free tier, or maybe the first tier, right? This will still be very powerful. And the reason why you want to do this ritual is because you want to tap into these energetics, right? Of the earth and the water. When we're talking about the moon, we're moving in this water energetic. And at the same time with Taurus, we're talking about the earth, okay? And so it has to be a beautiful ritual because that Taurus, that Venus energy is about beauty. So you sitting with yourself and making your space beautiful and thinking about the beauty of the things that are good about yourself, thinking about the things that empower you, thinking about your gifts, your talents. You know, you might not be a singer or a musician, but you may be a badass computer engineer. You might be a freaking mathematician, or you may run a business that is doing very well behind the scenes doing virtual assistant work. You may be doing architecture. Okay, you may be running contracts for a construction company. Whatever it is that you're doing, there are things that you do in your daily life that are really good. You might be a really, really good cook for your family. Okay? So, whatever it is, I want you to take time to acknowledge what are the beautiful aspects of yourself when you go to do this ritual, because this ritual sets you up to be empowered, and that power in itself protects you as you go through the rites of removing what is not a part of you to keep what is you moving forward. All right. So during this transit, we have the 7 degrees, and it shows us that we are moving through a very powerful portal. We know it's a powerful portal because we have the sun and the moon together, which creates the conjunction there, right? But then we have the 7 degrees. And for those of you who practice in the fairy arts, the 7-pointed star is very powerful here. The 7-pointed star is a magical piece, right, of technology. Now, where else do we see the 7-pointed star? Let me see it in the chat. Because the 7-pointed star represents having access to all of the planets in a harmonious design. Now, are they going to fully be in harmony this entire time? No, because we're going to have an opposition between Mars and Pluto. However, that's okay, because you'll be prepared for how to deal with that energy. Where else do we see the 7-pointed star? Who did you have to print out the 7-pointed star for in order to work with her? Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Today is actually the opposition of Mars and Pluto. So if you feel like you've been kind of in a power struggle with anyone, if you want to be sovereign of how the planets move, then acknowledge the energy and, you know, shift gears. Because you don't have power struggles with people when you are already empowered. Anyone who's trying to have a power struggle with you is in their ego trying to define for themselves in reality that they're powerful, and for some reason deep down inside they're questioning their power. I mean, deeply rooted in power struggles, that's what it is. It's just a battle of the egos. Does that make sense? So yes, Inanna, y'all correct. Inanna, she works with the 7-pointed star. But have you asked yourself, why would you be working with the 7-pointed star if Venus herself is represented in the pentagram? So that's one of the secrets I wanted to share with you all today, is that Venus has a particular orbit called the Venus rose cycle. Okay, Venus rose cycle. And it happens within 7 to 8 months. So we see the number 7 happening again before we actually see her star shine um, as a pentagram in the sky. Okay? So what you are tapping into with this particular ritual that I am giving out to you all is this Venus rose cycle, which means that you are calling on the power of the rose in your ritual. Okay? The power of the rose in your new moon ritual. Now we know that the rose has the highest frequency of aroma, right? And to use it ritualistically is to tap into that frequency, whether you put it on as a scent, or you have it visually around your home, or you're wearing it on your clothes. That's a real thing. Oh, hi, honey. You want to come up here? Come on. Come on. Okay? My little mama, she's been a little more um, in need of affection in her own me time because we have a new baby. Okay? So, the next thing that's a part of your ritual, because obviously you're going to need some fresh roses, some fresh red roses. So for this particular ritual, you need red roses. There are all kind of colors, and some of you ask, what color? So there you go. You're also going to need some soil, okay, some dirt, from somewhere that feels safe, okay? Why do we want the soil to come from somewhere where it feels safe? Because the soil is going to be part of your soil that you're planting your seeds, your valuable seeds into. Okay? All right. So it's a really simple ritual. You need a white candle, a bowl for your water, roses. You may use some rose oil if you'd like to add that. Sea salt, okay? Sea salt. Soil from somewhere that feels safe. And a list of things that you find are valuable about yourself. Can y'all get some of these lights up? And give y'all a moment to write your notes. Come on now, y'all. So this ritual is really sacred for grounding you. You want to be very grounded. Alright? You've been out there in the astrals and you're looking to dimension hop and pull things out of the other dimensions into this reality. You're going to need something to ground you. So in the future, when you're doing this ritual, you may just do it because you need to be grounded. Sometimes you can't really stay awake during this high energy moving through because you're not grounded enough. Okay, so there's techniques of breath work to get you grounded. There's techniques of breath work to take you up out of here. Okay, there's techniques of rituals that are going to keep you grounded. There's techniques of rituals that are going to take you up out of here. And then somewhere in between, of course. All right? So your focus should be on what are you truly aligned with? What are you truly aligned with? Because instead of he loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. You'll be taking the petals off of the rose and placing them into your water based on the value or the principle that you want to move forward with. Right? I'm a brilliant soul. I'm an intelligent being. I'm a beautiful person. I have an abundance of wealth. I'm very creative. I'm intentional and mindful about everything I do. I those things that are really positive about yourself, the values. I'm in a healthy, beautiful relationship. Like, honor your marriage, honor your relationships. I'm an amazing father. I'm an amazing mother. Like, acknowledge each of those things, including the material things. I drive a beautiful car. I wear amazing, expensive, beautiful clothes. All of those things you want to add to your water, okay? And it's a ritual that does not take a long time to do, all right? It's just a matter of doing it so that you have that water activated and your intentions set out. During this lunation, you all can also look at or evaluate, are there any of the things that you're trying to build not really build on solid ground? Because see, Taurus energy is going to look at what's shaky, what's not really solid, which is why Taurus will get the what is it called? I'm I'm not really sure how to word it at this moment, but it's like, you know, Taurus, people say Taurus is really stubborn. You know, they're fixed, right? They don't really move too quickly into other things. But imagine if you live with an energy where you take your time to get somewhere in the first place. That means that you've already thought through a lot of things by the time you got there. It will take a lot of BS and a lot of evidence that this is not a solid and safe place for you to rest in order for that energetic, if you're in the Taurus energetic, to move or make changes. Does that make sense? So use the energy of this lunation in the dark, right? In the darkness, to evaluate if what you're dreaming or you're inspired to create is based on something real and solid, or you're still idealizing some situation that is shaky. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about it. And then the fact that you have this Mars opposition, even right now, you can think about, if there's anything shaky, is it worth protecting? Is it worth you putting energy into it? And that's why these rituals, especially when it comes to the moon, is a good idea to focus those rituals on yourself, especially if you're still in a position of wanting to get yourself to that sweet spot and to that flow state. It's better to focus on yourself with these rituals while you're studying, rather than trying to do rituals against anyone or for anyone, and allow people who are already seasoned to do these rituals for yourself, like Baba T or like myself, because your focus should be really honing in on you and getting yourself to that sweet spot, okay? So that you don't get drained trying to do things with your willpower elsewhere where you need it for yourself. I hope that makes sense to a lot of you. All right. So is what you're building worth protecting? If it's not worth protecting, because sometimes you have to put things in perspective. You know, on the popular side of love and relationships, some of you all want to use these rituals to solidify your love. But if the situation does not look like it's worth protecting, why are you wasting your ashe? You know what I'm saying? If you're looking to use this ritual for yourself, is it for, you know, a career move? Is that career move fear-based? Like, okay, I want to get a promotion to the next level up in this particular company, but the whole time your goal is to become an entrepreneur. The job you're at already treats you like crap. Why are you doing a ritual to get a promotion in that company? Do the ritual to get a new placement somewhere else that is more empowering and in alignment with your ultimate goal. That's what I mean by, is it worth protecting? So do you need to protect your job based on fear, or do you need to protect your alignment with the new thing that you are building on? Okay. Because we're working with the new moon, right? And we have a lot of ancestral, we're like really piped up on ancestral pride, because we're looking at our ancestor, our greatest ancestor, being the great mother of creation. Whether you want to call it Tiamat or you want to call it Lalita Tripura Sundari Parashakti, right? Your pride is in something, your ancestral pride is in something way higher than your normal group of people. True? So in order to really tap into the magic of this lunation, embody that pride. You know what I'm saying? Part of that embodiment is taking your time when you do your bathing, you know, before you go into ritual. Part of that pride is in wearing something really beautiful and sensual. And sensual does not mean it needs to be kinky sexual. Sensual means it feels really good on your skin. You feel beautiful when you put it on. Okay? Take your time to lotion and oil your skin. Embrace your natural beauty. Okay? Exfoliate. Exfoliate, moisturize, put on your perfumes, perfume your body. For this ritual, you're going to cleanse your space with smoke. Okay? Because there's an ancestral connection, you can use some fresh tobacco leaves. Okay? But you also can use some frankincense first. You need to clear out the space. If you want to work with stones, for those of you who still want to work with stones, you can use rose quartz, green aventurine, and pyrite. These are all about abundance. Okay, abundance, self-love, victory. And the rest of the instructions will be posted. All right? Y'all have any questions? Do y'all have any questions? All right, y'all. So everybody like and share this video. like and share this video. Let everybody know that I went live and that we got some new source coming for the new moon in preparation for those of you who caught the 7-day devotional that I shared. And it's going to be a beautiful time. So, you know what I'm saying, stay calm, stay divine, and be at peace. And everybody who gets the Merlin app, you know, drop it in the comments and let me know what you think about it. Somebody tag Merlin and let them know I sent you. All right. Peace, love, and bliss. Enjoy this replay if you missed the beginning, because I actually dropped the ritual for y'all in the beginning. Totally separate. But I'll see y'all soon. All right. And I might just drop that meditation for y'all. All right. Peace.